Good evening, race fans. Thank you for tuning in tonight to the Elite Racing Network for tonight's Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series regular season finale, the Street Limit 175 at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. I am Zach Evans alongside William White. We've got Nick Massey producing tonight's broadcast here on the Elite Racing Network. William, it all comes down to this. We're crowning a regular season champion, finding out who's going to the playoffs tonight.
Yeah, definitely a super exciting one. Always fun to have a regular season finale at a super speedway, and the ultimate one being Talladega Super Speedway. So definitely a massive wild card where anyone can win, and it's going to be very interesting to see who can make our final 14 for the playoffs. And we definitely won't know until the checker flag, so nothing's guaranteed for any of these guys out there.
There you see the information on the screen for tonight's race. 66 laps, halfway mark at lap 33 with a playoff point on the line there. 3 sets of tires for these competitors this evening. As now we'll take a look at the starting grid as the pace lap commences. Jeff Green on the pole. Tyler Fody to his outside on the front row. Dustin Dewar, Michael Hossack make up row number 2. Dylan Haber, Jesse Racimas line up in row number 3. Andrew Rucker, Leighton Norgard make up row 4. Robert Hill starting 9th with Joe Francis rounding out the top 10. Richie Hearn starts 11th. Andrew Hardcastle starts 12th. Caleb Kumer 13th. Gavin Hibbs 14th. Ethan Burrell 15th. Jaden Racimas lining up 16th. Thomas Coonan 17th. David Westergreen will start 18th in truck number 18. Cody McCorkle 19th. Michael Goodman 20th. Ty McIntosh 21st. Raymond Hanneman 22nd. Jake Scarborough 23rd. Seth Rawls 24th. Mitch Haver 25th. Gerald Campbell 26th. Kyle Hanshaw 27th. Sam Boutwell starting 28th. Harrison Whitehead, Matt Telder, Mark Revilis rounding out your 31 truck field here at Talladega. 66 laps. You can see the field making its way out of turn 4 to the tri-oval. I'll say it for the first time. You know you hear it every time there's a broadcast at Talladega. The start-finish line isn't in the middle of the tri-oval. It's past the tri-oval over towards turns number 1, so we still got a little more ways before these guys fire through the restart zone and get this one underway. The green flag is out. Jeff Green leading the field here at Talladega.
Both lanes look to get off to a fairly even getaway there, the inside line there, with just a bit of a head start. Do Good Motorsports teammates Jeff Green and Dustin Dewar working in tandem already on the bottom there. Tyler Fody, 7-time champion, with help from Michael Parsack behind him, trying to push the 40 all the way up to the front of the field, but both lines looking fairly even for the time being. I think that's Andrew Hardcastle up there in the 22. GameStop machine there, way up on the higher side there, looks to be shuffled out, maybe just trying to work towards the back of the pack for the time being. Bit of survivalism there from the ARCA Series Talladega winner, so he knows what it takes to win at the Ultimate Super Speedway. As Jeff Green now pulls in front of Tyler Fody, he'll lead the outside line, looking to lead the first lap of the race, coming back to the checker.
Already 1 lap in the books. Jeff Green, Dustin Dewar, those Do Good trucks lined up front. Tyler Fody giving the push to Jeff Green on the outside lane. Going to be, interesting over the course of this evening. You've got guys who are, for example, Jeff Green is good on points. He is into the playoff. Dustin Dewar is on the good side of the bubble, but he's not locked in. Tyler Fody doesn't even have a dog in this fight. He's just here trying to win a race. You've got other guys that are on the outside trying to win this race to get in or make up enough points. Going to be a lot to keep up with over the course of this regular season finale.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see a lot of kind of fights within fights there. A lot of stories developing. Bonus points obviously awarded to guys who are leading laps and getting 0x's and things like that. Jeff Green led us back to the checkered stripe the first time around, so a bonus point for the number 38, just solidifying his standing in the playoff picture. Dustin Dewar, though, as you mentioned, a little bit less secure there in terms of his playoff berth, looking to lead some laps and obviously see the checkered flag first and lock himself in to the round of 14. But at the moment, it's the Jeff Green and Tyler Foti show. They've been leading their respective lines all night long. Only 2.5 laps completed though. A lot of racing still to be done here at Talladega, where anything can and will happen. Tyler Foti gets up to about a truck and a half points lead there, with Dustin Dewar pushing him. The 57 of Dylan Javier, that's Tyler Foti's teammate in the Lake Norman Motorsport stable there, trying to help his boss get up to the front for a race that isn't massively important for Tyler Foti. Obviously hasn't got a dog in the fight, having won a million championships in Elite's past. And there's already wrecking there. Big one into turn 1 there. That'll be our first caution of the night. This will be a massive one, claiming a lot of trucks.
Oh, that is a ton of carnage. You see Richie Hearn, Jaden Racimus, Joe Francis involved. Some of those trucks that were against the outside wall. We'll see if we can get a replay here and figure out exactly what happened. Take a look at the Mark Rebelos replay machine. That is, I was about to say, that was 4 wide, William. That, awfully early for that, but somebody made the move there, and now that's 4 wide with Richie Hearn, Andrew Rucker, Joe Francis, and the 11 of... we don't...
I feel that may be a custom number.
Yeah, that's... we don't have one of those. So I'm not sure...
And that is what you call thinning the herd there, a little chain reaction there.
Well, that's going to have
contact, and that takes out about half the field.
So I believe that 11 truck was Ethan Burrell. There's Sam Boutwell, 5 points below the cut line coming into the night. He's got a meatball, and that's... Sam Boutwell has a meatball, Joe Francis has a meatball, Leighton Norgard has a meatball. Leighton, fortunately, is probably in a good spot points-wise. Joe Francis was locked in, but that's a pretty devastating blow for Sam Boutwell.
Yeah, definitely. That is going to really derail his efforts there. Andrew Hardcastle just trying to slide through the grass to avoid that, but Talladega kind of self-cleaning with that banking. Everyone just slides down and into the path of Andrew Hardcastle goes Sam Boutwell. Hardcastle clattering into the left front suspension there, the 47. That's going to really derail both of their playoff efforts. Both guys trying to lock themselves into the postseason there, and that will not be doing their points tallies any good. As you see, only 7 trucks there caught up to the safety car. Such is the magnitude there of that early crash that took out a lot of really, really quick cars very, very early on.
Yeah, and I was just about to ask you guys as well, you know, coming in here like Sam Boutwell, Caleb Pachuner, what would kind of your strategy be? But it kind of all went out the window right there. You know, kind of my approach would be kind of just run the backfield things out to start the race, but obviously that wreck happening kind of in the back, so not a lot of ways to avoid that one.
No, exactly. I think, you know, normally early on in a race like this, I like being on the inside line to give myself an escape road if something happens, but I don't think you could have expected 4 wide amongst some of the front runners that early in the race. I don't really know. I don't know how you strategize for that, so.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of, I mean, yeah, like you say, you can't expect 4 wide into T1 beginning a lap 4. I don't think that was really intentional by anyone. It seems like 2 people just spotted a hole at the same time and went for it, and that created a very unfortunate situation that no one really could avoid. But I think in terms of the approach that a driver like Sam Boutwell takes, you really have to kind of contextualize it. You have to think, I'm 5 points below the bubble, so I have to get a good result, but I haven't got a lot of time. It's only 66 laps. If we have long green runs, those 66 laps are going to go by very, very quickly, and there's not a lot of like consistent passing at super speedways. Lines come and go. The inside will be stronger than the outside will be stronger. So it kind of does come down to survival being there at the end when it matters most. But when you've got such limited time to get to the front, you have to be aggressive and put yourselves in the situations where there is a bit more risk, and sometimes, like for Sam Batwell today, it just hasn't paid off. So unfortunate for the 47 in his playoff bid, but not out of it yet. He's back rolling, so we'll see if he can come back from this one.
Yeah, I would have to guess with being able to get it fixed in any reasonable amount of time, it was probably wheel damage rather than engine damage for that 47 truck. We'll see how much speed he's able to maintain now that he is back on track. It looks like he is still on the lead lap, so good news, at least for now, but we'll see what he has to fight with. As you can see, the field is doubled up, making its way down the backstretch. We'll take a quick moment to do a quick little sponsor read here while we're knocking off this last caution lap. Of course, want to thank all our sponsors here on the Elite Racing Network. Tonight's race sponsor, Street Limit. Rev up your style with Street Limit, the ultimate destination for fashion-forward gear and adrenaline-fueled thrills. Whether you're tearing up the asphalt on iRacing or dominating the streets in style, we've got you covered from head to toe. Picture this: sleek hoodies that hug every curve, tees that scream speed, and hats that add the perfect finishing touch to your racing ensemble. At Street Limit, we blend the worlds of fashion and virtual racing seamlessly, so you can look as fast as you feel. But that's not all. Our collection isn't just about looks. We're committed to quality that lasts lap after lap. From premium fabrics to meticulous craftsmanship, every piece is built to withstand the demands of the track and the streets alike. So whether you're hitting the virtual track or making a statement on the streets, do it with Street Limit. Unleash your style, ignite your passion, and embrace the thrill of the ride with Street Limit, where fashion meets the fast lane. And breathe. So, with that, we're about to go greenfield, doubled up Jeff Green, Tyler Fody, the front row for this restart, coming to start lap 8 here at Talladega.
Looks like the outside line got a much better getaway there. Looks like a bit of teamwork from the Lake Norman stable. Dylan Avira and Tyler Fody getting off to a great launch. Both of them able to fire down to the inside before turn 1. Just cutting in front of Jeff Green there. We'll see if he has any help from Michael Harsack behind him. We see his teammate Michael Goodman is up on the higher side there, but not with much help. He might get swallowed up by the rest of the field. He chooses to file to the inside there. As Jeff Green now moves to the outside, Michael Harsack in tow, looking to work with the 38 early doors here. As you see the field start to fan out, you see Harsack Hill there emerging on the high side there, with a bit of a Lake Norman trio on the bottom there. That's Tyler Fody, Dylan Javier, and Caleb Bakuma. Now 3 Chevrolets in tandem on the bottom of the racetrack as Harsack pushes Jeff Green to the point at the end of lap 8. Is Jeff Green going to lead his second lap of the day? It looks to be so. Lap 9 commences. Jeff Green and Tyler Fody still in the lead.
Already
third lane forming here.
Yeah, I was going to say, already getting that outside lane going, and right now, I got to say, a little bit of no man's land for Michael Harsack, and that's probably frustrating the people behind him. The outside lane now is able to get alongside him, but for a second there, he was kind of in between both lanes and really keeping either of them from moving forward, but ultimately that outside lane does find its way to the outside of Michael Harsack. Oh! Almost, there might have been contact there. It was awfully close.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they're getting right back to it. You know, they had the early wreck that took out a lot of trucks, or damaged a lot of trucks, and they're getting right back to this 3-wide action right off the drop.
Definitely not scared to get aggressive early doors. As Robert Hill Jr. for the first time tonight looks to start leading some laps himself. Jeff Green, Tyler Fody leading their respective lanes. Tyler Fody with some big help from behind him. That's a Street Limit car. Might be Harrison Whitehead there in the 84 behind the 05, who is now firmly in the lead there. Harrison Whitehead giving a big shove there to the number 95 Drive Smart Toyota there. As Robert Hill goes down now to the low side, blocks Tyler Fody, So that will be Harrison Whitehead now leading the outside line, being pushed there by Ty McIntosh there for Shift Esports. Jeff Green still leading that middle line, loyal to Michael Hossack, but Tyler Fote is now pushing Robert Hill to the point.
32 and Dustin Dewar dropped low on the back fence, get out of the back of that pack, didn't like what he was seeing there.
Still 3 wide all the way through this lead pack as we work lap 11. Robert Hill leading the way, Tyler Fote giving him the push on the bottom lane. But there you see Jeff Green and Michael Hossack hooked up in the middle. Harrison Whitehead trying to lead that far outside lane in that red 84 truck with Ty McIntosh behind him.
Still seeing a fair bit of dominance from the inside lane. They look to be the stronger lane as of right now. The middle and the outside definitely able to hold their own, but Tyler Fote, a bit of a plate track specialist, definitely knows how to give a shove to a truck in front of him. That's allowing Robert Hill to lead a bunch of laps early on. Michael Hossack and Jeff Green, definitely a duo to watch throughout the remainder of this race. They seem to be a partnership that's loyal to each other, so they might be friends towards the end of this race, might help each other get a win. But Harrison Whitehead, Ty McIntosh and co looking strong as Tyler Fote with a big swapper on there as he pulled to the outside of Robert Hill there. He'll now lead the middle lane, see if he can get back to the point there. But Harrison Whitehead clears the 7-time champion. He'll move down to the middle lane. Ty McIntosh now the lead truck in the outside lane, but Harrison Whitehead now getting the shove from the multi-time champ Tyler Fote there. He's going to look to lead his first laps of the night. He's side by side with Robert Hill Jr., who's got Dylan Javier pushing him.
Man, no hesitation whatsoever to crank up the excitement level in this one. Harrison Whitehead's going to lead lap number 12 at Talladega. Now he's got to drop to the bottom in front of Robert Hill, and that's going to put Tyler Fote leading that middle lane with Jeff Green in tow. Here they come out of turn 2. Now Ty McIntosh getting the push on the outside. Somebody, I believe that's Robert Hill, just bailed out. This is getting a little too exciting for his taste right now. He's going to bail out of this lead pack and tuck in to safer pastures behind them. And now you see Tyler Fote is going to drop to the bottom with Jeff Green behind him as they try to lead this lap.
Poor Michael Hossack there in the middle, somewhat getting body trapped. He's been ditched by Jeff Green, who went down to the inside with Tyler Fote. Michael Hossack now does have help. That's the street limit car. Thomas Coonan there, giving him a big shot there to the back of the 24. Michael Hossack to the lead of this race now, but Tyler Fote hanging strong on the inside. We'll see if Hossack drops down here in the middle of the corner. See if Coonan tries to push him further up towards the point. Further back, you see Ty McIntosh still leading that very outside lane there with help behind him. I think that's Jake Scarborough just in tow in the Shift Esports number 52. But the inside line looks to be the dominant one for now, as the middle and the outside look to fizzle out just a little bit.
Thomas Coonan's in an interesting spot as far as his playoff goes. He needs to win the race and get himself into the top 25 in points for his win to make him playoff eligible. Now, the good news on the points front, all right, we've seen trouble for Sam Boutwell. Dave Carpenter is not here. Some combination of those two and a win might be enough to get him in top 25 in points, but he has to win. That's why he's got the red number behind him in the scoring pylon. Any of those guys, you're looking at, somebody like, Jake Scarborough, similar situation, Seth Rawls, and those are the guys that you can expect as we get later in this race. They will have nothing to lose.
Yeah, definitely. They're in the kind of direst of situations there. So like you say, they'll have nothing to lose. They'll be the ones you'll look to see the aggression turning up to 11, as we've got a bit of a Shift Esports trio working in tandem on the very high side, and they are working beautifully. Ty McIntosh to the lead of this race with Jake Scarborough and Seth Rawls behind him. Those fours are moving. The blue ovals dominating the super speedways. Ty McIntosh drops down in front of the middle lane. He's going to pick up the 85 of Raymond Hanneman. Street limit driver there driving the 85 now drops down to the bottom, picks up Michael Hossack. So Ty McIntosh leading his first laps, ditches almost his Shift Esports teammates of Jake Scarborough and Seth Rawls, who look to be dropping back just a touch, trying to keep up with the 2 lanes below them, but Ty McIntosh now leading the inside line, but now with a big push from David Westergreen, Raymond Hanneman looks to get in front for just a split second.
David Westergreen loves super speedway racing, and he especially loves Talladega. He wants nothing more than to get out front in this race. He's not one of the guys competing. Oh, there's contact. Oh, how have they not wrecked there? David Westergreen, Ty McIntosh making door-to-door contact there. Somehow they all keep it straight. Ah, man. That's probably the one spot in the track where these trucks can be really difficult to handle. Somehow they escape that and keep going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, through the kind of corner of the tri-oval, it's a little bit bumpy down there on the very inside, so the trucks can get unsettled, especially if there's door-to-door contact. So everyone did a really good job at kind of dispersing and avoiding any further contact that could have resulted in another massive pile-up. But that's kind of spread the field out a little bit. We're back to just 2x2 racing. Raymond Hanneman leading the inside, but not for long. You see Ty McIntosh pulling out in front of his teammate Jake Scarborough, who will again push him to the point. You see David Westergreen there in tow. Both the Shift Esports boys drop down to the bottom after getting clear of Raymond Hanneman. So that's David Westergreen now leading the outside. Caleb Pekima and Tyler Foti behind him, but Ty McIntosh and Jake Scarborough and all of Shift Esports looking really solid early doors as Raymond Hanneman pulls back to the outside. Will look to pick up David Westergreen coming down the Alabama Gang super stretch, lap 18 of 66, almost reaching the 1/3 point.
Last week we saw a Shift Esports 1-2, Gavin Hibbs picking up the win, Jake Scarborough finishing second. Jake Scarborough would love nothing more than to pick up that win tonight and maybe be a part of another Shift Esports 1-2. I mean, that's probably what it's going to take, right? Super Speedway Racing, got to have teammates, got to have friends. Certainly Ty McIntosh and Jake Scarborough hooked up right now on that bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely. Friends, really the only way you find them, as much as team allegiances will help a long way, as we see almost directly into the outside wall there. Let's be getting a couple of cars tangled together, a lot like Dustin Dewar. Got tangled up a bit there towards the back of the pack, but just back to our friendship thing. Friends are definitely where you find them. Team allegiances, they'll get you a long way, but they won't get you all the way. Eventually, people will get selfish. They will ditch their teammates if it means a shot at the victory. And, you know, while the Shift Esports guys, you know, they would love to work together and get another 1-2 after getting their first ever 1-2 at Eldora last week. I'm sure that, you know, Ty McIntosh would ditch a 1-2-3 or would ditch his teammates if it meant that he was the one doing burnouts in victory lane. And I think these guys will have no trouble finding friends. They're a well-respected group, well-loved drivers, great personalities, so I'm sure even if they can't find their teammates at the end, I'm sure they'll have someone to work with.
Ty McIntosh on the inside, David Westergreen on the outside, leading the way on lap 20 of 66 here at Talladega. See Dustin Dewar jumping back to the outside, blinking a little bit down the back straightaway. Hopefully that will settle out for Dusty. Seeing a few questions in the YouTube chat just to kind of reiterate the color coding on the scoring pylon. There's a handful of guys with the green background. Those drivers are locked in. Yellow are the drivers who entered the night on the good side of the playoff cutoff, with this being the regular season finale. The red, drivers who need to race their way in tonight, either through points or through winning the race. The drivers in black are either drivers who aren't contending for points because of rules such as, with this being a development series, that they're former champions, or if they just haven't raced enough events during the full season to be mathematically eligible for the playoff. They're just hanging out with the black backgrounds.
Yeah, it's going to be something important to follow all night long. For example, Raymond Hanneman, he won at Daytona in the season opener, so he knows how to win on these paint tracks. His name is in yellow, meaning he's on the good side of the playoff bubble, and the win would pretty much guarantee a playoff berth in his debut season for the number 85. But Ty McIntosh, we tend to see him in the highest series, in the Willie Up Sports Cup Series, the Robalas Photo Grand National Series. We don't often see him down in the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series, so his name is in the regular black. He's not fighting for any points, and While he will get some from not being a past champion, he will simply not be mathematically eligible for a playoff berth. But Jake Scarborough, he's in red, he's going to have to race his way in, so look for him to be aggressive in the number 52. Got second place last time out, he'll be looking to go one better and squeak his way into the round 14, so a lot of stories to follow, and that color coding should help you with that.
About 1/3 of the way through here at Talladega, Ty McIntosh leading the way on that bottom lane. Raymond Hanneman, as you mentioned, William, the Daytona winner, leading that middle line. And oh, Jeff Green. Oh, they gotta get around this lap truck. Oh boy. Somehow they made it by. They've got another one up on the horizon too, but now they're looking 4 wide. That's definitely not going to work. There are only so many lanes here. They gotta settle out here before they catch this truck here. If I believe that might be.
Looks like Hibbs.
I was about to say that, but I don't. Is he here tonight?
I think
Yeah.
he is. Yeah, number 19.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, they do make their way around Hibbs. But man, I mean, lots of excitement here tonight. And what I think I was going to say before I got distracted there, for anybody tuning in for the first time here on the Elite Racing Network, you hear us talking about Jeff Green. Yes, that is Jeff Green, the former NASCAR Busch Series champion, a driver who sat on the pole one time in the Daytona 500 in the real world. So he knows a thing or two about this super speedway racing. Him and really the entire Do Good team always do well at these super speedways, but now it's all out of shape. Jeff Green is all by himself in the middle of 4 wide. This is no good.
Yeah, well, I think if anyone can hang out in the middle of 4 wide, it's Jeff Green. There's net code contact between the Do Good teammates, and that is going to end in Tier's second caution of the night. The Do Good teammates, Green and Do, were involved, so I'll let you know guard there. I think maybe Tyler Foti might have been in it. That's another big one, second caution of the night.
As you said it, a little bit of contact there between the Do Good teammates, Jeff Green, Dustin Dewar, right there in the middle of the pack. They were, again, 4 wide there. You see Michael Hossack on the bottom, Gerald Campbell in the 07, Jeff Green into 38, Dustin Dewar into 32.
Some hefty net code there.
Definitely still some space between those trucks when Dustin Dewar was turned around. See a Leighton Norgard collected.
I get collected again. That's going to be big damage to the 12. One of those other drivers that's on the good side of the points, but that's not going to be helping him at all there. 4 trucks. We'll see if Mitch Avir can get by. Robert Hill there just squeaking by Cody McCorkle. Andrew Hardcastle piling in, just misses. Tyler Foti has to take to the grass there. Another big one.
Maybe go on board with Andrew Hardcastle. Tries to navigate this wreck.
Going to be on board with the number 22 of Andrew Hardcastle. You saw his teammate get a little piece of it in Leighton Norgard. Andrew Hardcastle sees them wrecking, gets slowed down, and there's got to be exit stage left right as Tyler Foti starts to slide down the banking. Sometimes that's absolutely the best move, and you know, sometimes you just got to get out of the way sometimes, and that's exactly what a Leighton Norgard did, or excuse me, Andrew Hardcastle did there to avoid the wreck.
And just had to bail out there. I don't know if Abbott Motorsports have started making lawnmowers, but that's definitely a decent first prototype there, as Andrew Hardcastle had to take to the grass to avoid hitting the 40 of Tyler Foti. As everyone now comes to pit lane for, I would presume, whilst that was Robert Hill's binned it in pit lane. He's in Tyler Foti's pit box. That's not good.
Well, that's well, this is really bad news for old Bobby Mountain, because not only did he do that, which is embarrassing enough, but now we're gonna watch it again. And drove,
Oh
gassed
no,
it up.
Robert. I thought there was contact.
There was that
No.
was all whiskey throttle right there, I'm afraid, for Robert Hill.
Should we ask Bob if he's been drinking?
Man, that's a tough break. Definitely cost him some time on pit road. Take this opportunity to shout out another sponsor or two of ours here on the Elite Racing Network. Well, I thank, as always, the title sponsor of the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series, the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast. Stay Tuned Sports was started in 2016 by two friends, even though hating each other's teams, with the purpose of producing a sports show like no other. They wanted to create a show that would cover all major sports with a little bit of comedy mixed in. Stay Tuned Sports releases weekly episodes covering NFL, NHL, MLB, and even some college football. So if you're looking for some hot takes mixed in with some good ball busting, then this is the show for you. Stay Tuned Sports, your home for sports nonsense. Of course, you see the Blue Egg Marketing logo on the screen as well, one of our premier sponsors in Elite. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. And lastly, want to mention Worldwide Technology Raceway. Worldwide Technology Raceway is a motorsport racing facility in Madison, Illinois, just east of St. Louis, Missouri. Features a 1.25-mile track that hosts the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and the NTT IndyCar Series, which is the reason why we don't have Dave reading these ads tonight. He was down at Barber. It also has a 2-mile infield road course used by Trans Am, SCCA, and Porsche Club of America, a 1/4-mile NHRA drag strip that hosts the Midwest Nationals event, and the Kartplex, a state-of-the-art karting facility. So thank you again to all of our sponsors here in Elite as we get ready for this restart. About a little less than 40 laps to go. We'll have Ty McIntosh, Jesse Racines on the front row for this restart. Looks like about 26 trucks on the lead lap maybe for this restart. We'll get another look. Yes, 26 on the lead lap.
I know he touched on it earlier, but potential point implications here. Sam Boutwell is out of the race. I'm not sure if you missed him. That truck was too damaged to continue, or if he just pulled over and got another wreck. I'm not sure, but he's out. And then Andrew Rucker is sitting 2 laps down in 29th, and he was 17 above the cut line. So potential storylines.
Yeah, it looks like Sam Boutwell only made about 8 laps, so he must have pitted very quickly after that restart, if he even made it to the restart. And it must have been more damage than we thought on that 47 truck as we are back underway here at Talladega. And Jesse Racines jumps out front. Sometimes too big of a lead is a problem here at Talladega. He'll drop down to that bottom lane. Ty McIntosh getting the push from David Westergreen, but they're going to run out of real estate here with Jesse Racines in front of them.
Yeah, it could have created a bit of a problem there. Big accordion effect there for Westergreen, McIntosh and Racines there on the low side. Racines got a massive lead there. Managed to say, Zach, probably too big of a lead there at Talladega. The run that you get with the draft means that you really close up quick to the truck in front of you, and that was definitely a bit of a curse there for that inside line. Wasn't able to quite give Jesse the shot that he needs, but they've recuperated now. Ty McIntosh pushing Jesse Racines there, leading that inside line. Westergreen,
Raymond Hanneman leading the way right now. In that middle lane, Jesse Racines to his inside. as they make their way down the back stretch. Racines getting just a little bit of a nose out with that push from Ty McIntosh on the inside line as we work lap 29 here at Talladega.
And Hanneman just looking to emerge back on the high side there. Seth Rawls giving a big push there to the Daytona winner, Raymond Hanneman. Seth Rawls just below the cut line, looking to point or win his way in to the round of 14. And as Hanneman drops to the low side in front of Jesse Racines, that's going to allow Seth Rawls to lead the outside line for the first time tonight. Fellow Ford Thomas Coonan following in tow, pushing the 10 up towards the front of the pack. You see a little outside line emerging there, just a couple of trucks on the outside, unlikely to make a big splash for the time being. That's led by Carl Hanshaw and Matt Telder. We see Tyler Foti joining in the fun there on the high side. That could attract a few big game players. See Ethan Burrell and Jeff Green, I believe, that is up there as well, so might see a bit of an outside line force there. Another truck there, that's Dylan Avere, takes to the high side. We're now seeing a 2-car tandem at the front of the pack. It's Raymond Hanneman and Seth Rawls.
Johnny Thomas chiming in on the YouTube chat, our winner in the Elite Cup Series at Rockingham, cheering on Kyle Hanshaw. You see him in that 46 truck, second in line on the outside. We haven't talked about him much tonight, but he has worked his way into the mix here as we close in on halfway. Right now, Hanshaw pushing. I believe that was the 57 of Dylan Javier. Man, we got to put in a request with that particular team. I swear, they always make their vehicles look exactly the same, and I can never tell them apart. And then this year, they really messed us up by having like two brothers, and it's just a father and son. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, definitely very hard to tell the like normal motorsports trucks apart, but I think you just see the light purple on the top of Dylan Javier's car that can differentiate him just enough from his brother Mitchell Javier, driving the 58s. With the black and purple, you see they're just in the middle of a offset 3 aggressor. There's Caleb Pecuman 59, also in a purpley blue Chevrolet Silverado. So not a lot of difference between those 3 trucks, but speaking of which, Caleb Pecuman now pushing a very different truck. That's David Westergreen there in the number 18 Chevrolet, trying to get back up towards the front of the field, while Hanneman and Rawls still leave their respective lanes. On the low side and in the middle there, Jesse Racines and Thomas Coonan pushing those 2 particular trucks.
Closing in on halfway. The halfway point will be on the line at the end of this lap. Raymond Hanneman, right now the leader on that bottom lane, but you can see him 3 wide. Everybody's got to be charging for that point, especially the drivers already in the playoffs trying to pick up that valuable playoff point that will carry them through the rest of the season. Right now, somebody's got to get a run, though, if they're going to chase down Raymond Hanneman. Hanneman getting from Jesse Racines, and now Ty McIntosh, really 3 trucks out front on that bottom lane.
Yeah, the bottom lane looking really tidy and organised there. Jesse Racines giving a good push to Raymond Hanneman, and that's allowing everyone behind them tucked up in that lane to close up nicely. Harrison Whitehead and Ty McIntosh before him, but now McIntosh pulls out in front of his Shift Esports teammate Seth Rawls. Rawls now with a big run. He's going to give a shot to the back of the 75. That's going to get that trainer chug in there. In the middle side, led by Ty McIntosh. Teammate Seth Rawls behind him. Dustin Dewar, a bit of a plate track specialist. He's third on that particular lane. He's splitting the Shift Esports teammate. This is Jake Scarborough. Is fourth in on that particular train. There's a reckoner back there, letting Norgard's involved there, spinning down towards the inside wall, but I think we're going to stay green. No on-track hazards there. We've just passed halfway, and letting Norgard's involved in his 3rd accident of the evening, so not a good point tonight. It's looking like for the number 12 Toyota there. Albert Motorsports driver is above the cut line, fairly locked in, so we'll take a big mishap for him to miss the plows, but he's been involved in 3 crashes so far. We'll see what happened this time.
Oh,
that was weird.
I almost wonder if Matt Telder was having some kind of connection issue, because you see him off the pace and pull to the left, and honestly, Leighton quite literally drives through him. I have to think there was some kind of connection issue, and then he checks up, and that's when Jaden Racimus, nowhere to go, gets into him. And of course, the unfortunate part, to add insult to injury for a Leighton Norgard, with the iRacing system determining the yellows, all of that spun to the inside off the racing surface. So the yellow flag was not displayed on top of the damage, and he's all by his lonesome some probably, gosh, I'd have to guess at least 20, 30 seconds off the pace here. We'll see when the pylon rotates here. Yeah, he's 25 seconds off the pace and out of the draft. That number just got to grow and grow and grow.
Yeah, he's got no drafting partners anymore, so that's a big hit for a Leighton Norgard. He needs a yellow and fast if he wants to stay on the lead lap. And 3 abreast racing has been fairly clean, but that's the most likely thing to trigger a yellow here at Talladega Superspeedway. But that 4-car tandem on the low side looking dominant. Whitehead, Racimus, Hanneman and McIntosh working really tidily together. But now that bromance is broken up as Raymond Hanneman moves to the middle to block the run there of Dustin Dewar. Hanneman's been working the lanes beautifully thus far in this race, just past the halfway point. He gets himself back to the point, blows past Ty McIntosh there, as well as Jesse Racimus. So Hanneman, Dewar, Jake Scarborough looking to be a top 3 there as Dewar now pulls to the inside, pulls alongside Raymond Hanneman. He's going to get the push from Ty McIntosh. Dewar to the point for the first time in this evening.
Dustin Dewar, we saw him involved in that incident a little earlier, but hasn't slowed him down. Back out front here with the push from Ty McIntosh in that 75 truck. Raymond Hanneman still hanging tough in that middle lane. He's got Jake Scarborough behind him as they make their way down towards turn number 3. Now Raymond Hanneman will drop to the bottom and take the lead.
Now we've got the blue ovals, the Ford F-150s leading all 3 lanes. Hanneman on the low side, Scarborough in the middle. His Shift Esports teammate Seth Rawls is on the high side there, 9th on the scoring pylon there. So bit of a 2-lane race up at the front. Only Rawls, Foti and Burrell there up on the high side as Wester Green looks to join that party. Gets up into the high side, pulls alongside Dylan Javier and Jesse Racimus there, looking to pull along Seth Rawls and co as Javier now pulls to the high side while Burrell and Foti go back closer. Still only 3 trucks on the high side, so they'll be struggling to emerge towards the front of the pack. So it's going to be Hanneman and Scarborough leading the front 2 lanes there, pushed by Dustin Dewar and Cody McCorkle, who's in the top 4 for the first time this evening. Dylan Javier trying to get that top side to work. It's not working terribly. To his credit, he's getting that trainer chug in there. David Westergreen giving a decent shove there to the back of the 57, but Dustin Dewar, monster push there to the back of Raymond Hanneman. They are clear out in the lead, top 3 on the inside lane. As now here comes Ty McIntosh, pulls out, looking to pull along his teammate Jake Scarborough, but Hanneman responds with a block of his own. McIntosh to the high side. They're getting dicey here with 25 to go.
25 to go, and you're starting to see the moves. Ty McIntosh on the outside from the top rope. Now he drops down in front of Raymond Hanneman in that middle lane. He's got to try to lead the way, but you could see Dylan Javier leading that outside lane. He's got to have something to say, and so is Ty McIntosh on the inside with Jake Scarborough giving him the push.
Yeah, definitely. Speed master's never my thing. We're coming to 27 to go at the stripe, so not quite 25, but they're getting dicey nonetheless. We're seeing a lot of lane work and a lot of run blocking, so definitely aggression is being amped up towards the end of the running here at Talladega. Shift Esports teammates, they've been working together beautifully, all 3 of them, over the course of tonight, and they're in tandem again on the bottom side. It's Ty McIntosh leading Jake Scarborough. Raymond Hanneman been up front all night there, leading the middle lane. Cody McCorkle for the first time tonight is up near the front, and he's pushing the 85 towards the point. Dylan Javier also been strong tonight. He's leading the outside lane with a couple of his Lake Norman Motorsports teammates in tow, but everyone else looking aggressive but tidy in this long 3-wide run.
Cody McCorkle, you mentioned we have not talked about him a lot this evening, but right now up in that top 5 is, oh, here we go. I think we just saw Jesse Racimus pull off there. We might. I don't know if anybody went with him. It looks like he's all by his own on pit road. Man, that's interesting to see. I'm not sure if he had an issue or he was hoping to have a little more backup or what exactly happened here.
Regardless of the intention or the reason behind that pit stop, it's going to be unfortunate for the 70. He'll be bound to lose a lap when they come back to take 25 laps to go. As Dewar pulls in front of Raymond Hanneman. Hanneman goes to the low side. He's going to follow Scarborough and McIntosh there on the bottom. McCorkle pushing Dewar as no one came to pit road that particular lap, so looked to be an unscheduled pit stop for the 70s. McIntosh tries to go high to block Dewar. Too much closing speed, and that's going to get McIntosh body trapped in the middle. No man's land for the 75, and he's going to barrel down the field there. Dewar and McCorkle pull in front. Jeff Green there now leading the high side. It's Jake Scarborough now leading this race with Raymond Hanneman in tow.
More and more, the intensity is going to ratchet up as we get to the end of this race. Dustin Dewar getting the push to the front. Cody McCorkle will drop down to the bottom with Dustin Dewar in front of him. They'll run 1-2 for now, but Ty McIntosh trying to get that middle lane wound up again, and he's got Seth Rawls behind him.
Again, we're seeing that Shift Esports partnership. I'm saying it for the millionth time now. I'll probably say it a million times more. Seth Rawls pushing Ty McIntosh towards the front of the pit field. And there goes Jake Scarborough completing the trifecta of Shift Esports Fords towards the front of the field. David Westergreen with Tyler Foti helping him, trying to get back towards the front of the field. Dustin Dewar with help from his fellow Chevrolet, Cody McCorkle down on the bottom. 3 abreast, and they're catching Richie Hearns, so this could be intense as they go 4 abreast, but they've done brilliantly there to navigate past the 73. The 73 did a good job at keeping it way by the wall there, making life as easy as possible for the chasing pack. We stay 3 abreast and we stay green. The teammates almost getting into each other. It's a bit dicey up at the front there with McIntosh and Rawls there as Westergreen powers towards the front now.
And now they're catching another slower truck. I believe he'll stay down on the low side toward the apron. That's Jesse Racines. We were talking about him all by his lonesome on pit road. He's about to lose a lap here as the leaders go rocketing by him, but they've got to squeeze around him if they can get through turn 2. That's about the worst spot to catch a truck like that.
Definitely, but again, they've done really, really well at navigating past Jesse there. Jesse's just going to fall to the back of this particular group here. But at the front, they stay clean. They're now catching Jaden Racines again in the middle of a corner. Through turns 3 and 4. The one stays low. The front runners all squeak past. They go for abreast through the front, but they've kept it clean. Credit to them. But now just 2 by 2 by 2 up at the front. Those 2 back markers, of course, a bit of a separation in this front pack. Cody McCorkle leading his first laps of the evening. He snuck up there, pushed by Ty McIntosh there in the 75. Dustin Dewar trying to power back on the low side with help from Raymond Hanneman. All the while, David Westergreen and Tyler Foti still working together. They were on the high side, they dropped now to the middle.
I give David Westergreen and Tyler Foti credit for persistence. About every time they got a run, the pack would catch one of those slower vehicles and bunch up, and they had to really tiptoe at that point. But once again, they're going to try to make this outside line work. Take it 3 wide through turns 3 and 4, and once again, they're getting a nice little run built up.
And they're doing a great job of conserving momentum through the corners. That gives them really good drive off of the exit of these corners. Obviously, the higher banking at the top of the track at Talladega is what gives them the run as they work past the Leighton Norgard there. Cleverly and courteously down on the apron is the number 12, so life is not any more difficult for the chasing pack up at the front. David Westergreen looks to ditch his partner Tyler Foti, and that's going to be 4 abreast for the lead. This is going to get dicey as David Westergreen's in no man's land.
Just a little bit too eager on the move down, I think, for David Westergreen. Wasn't quite clear, created a little bit of a helter-skelter moment with Cody McCorkle, and he ends up paying for it, falling back into the pack. They're still 4 wide trying to sort this out.
Yeah, set off a massive chain reaction there, and Tyler Foti's fallen back. That entire top side has really been punished, and now we're 2 by 2, about 6 rows deep, all the way back to about 12th, 13th place there. So now again, Cody McCorkle and Dustin Dewar still leading their lines with the same drivers pushing them. You see the teammates, McIntosh and Rawls, up on the high side there, pushing Cody McCorkle. McCorkle went low, thinking McIntosh was going to go with him. McIntosh looked for all the world like he would, but now he's got Rawls pushing him to the point. Shift Esports powering through there, and here comes their teammate Jake Scarborough to again complete the trio up on the high side.
20 laps to go here at Talladega. Getting down to the end of this regular season. Once again, you see Tyler Fode trying to make that outside line work. Ty McIntosh leading the way in that middle lane, that black and highlighter yellow 75 truck leading the charge with Seth Rawls behind him in the 10 truck. Cody McCorkle leading the bottom lane with Dustin Dewar and Raymond Hanneman in tow. 19 laps to go as they pass the line this time.
Time is definitely ticking for these guys. Less than 20 laps to go in this 66 lap capture the flag contest here at Talladega Super Speedway. Intensity building as these V8s still sing at full song here. Ty McIntosh leading the running by just a couple hundredths of a second over the number 2 truck of Cody McCorkle, looking to make his way into the playoffs again in the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series. Ty McIntosh not running for points, but running for pride and for glory, looking to take his first win in the Truck Series. He's got his teammate Seth Rawls trying to make the playoffs behind him. A lot of context, a lot of stories building in these latter stages of the race. But here comes 7-time, it's Tyler Fode looking for his 22nd win in the Truck Series, helped by the 2022 B champion Ethan Burrell towards the point.
Ethan Burrell giving Tyler Fode the push to the front on that outside lane, but now Tyler Fode drops down to the middle lane in front of Ty McIntosh. That's got to put Ethan Burrell leading the outside lane. And now they make their way down towards turn number 3. Fode leading the way. Still has Ty McIntosh behind him. Cody McCorkle still hanging strong, leading that inside line, while the outside line has faded back a bit now that Tyler Fode has jumped down to the middle.
Tyler Fode did a really good job there at spotting the run that the middle lane was going to have there. Came down just in time to capture Ty McIntosh, and now he's getting rewarded for it. It did fade back, but they conserved their momentum through 3 and 4. They had the run off the corner to power past the inside lane, and Ty McIntosh looks to be a pretty decent pusher. Tyler Fode looks to be a pretty decent leader. That's why he's won 21 races in this series. It's why he's won 7 series championships, and now he's leading this race by just a few hundredths of a second over Ty McIntosh. His pusher there over a tenth of a second in front of Cody McCorkle. But look now, battling back on the low side, Cody McCorkle with help from Dustin Dewar. Big push there from the inside line. McCorkle and Dewar now leading the running. But what's the high side? Led again by David Westergreen as Dewar comes to the high side.
Once again, the battles continue up front. Cody McCorkle might just lead this lap. Yes. Cody McCorkle leading the way. Raymond Hanneman giving him the push on that bottom lane. Dustin Dewar leading the middle lane. David Westergreen up front for the top side. Oh, a little bit out of shape there for McCorkle through 1 and 2. Maybe a bump draft, but he hangs on to it and gets the lead down the backstretch. Now Tyler Fode jumping to the outside.
Yeah, Tyler Fode trying to stay in front of A lane at all costs here. Jumps up to the high side, catches the run of David Westergreen there, who's been strong all night long. Has gone from the commentary box to the racetrack and has strutted his stuff stupendously there here in Talladega. Cody McCorkle and Dustin Dewar though, still the dominant duo out on the track at the minute, leading the low and middle lanes. But here comes Fode with help from Westergreen and Burrell behind him. McIntosh trying to push Dewar back in front of the 40, but they'll have the momentum along the high side through turns 1 and 2. It's Dewar, Fode and McCorkle leading their respective lanes 3 by 3 by 3, 5 rows back in their neck and neck.
This is all you can ask for here at Talladega. That's why they love the super speedway racing. Tyler Fode getting the run down the backstretch. He's out front for now with David Westergreen providing the support. They both are able to drop down to the middle lane. So it's 1-2, Tyler Fode, David Westergreen. Now they drop to the bottom in front of Ty McIntosh. out of turn 4. Tyler Fode leading the way. 4 trucks have broken out front for now, but we know that's probably not going to last long.
Yeah, Fode and Westergreen had a massive run there on the higher side. They cleared the middle lane quickly, cleared the inside lane as well. But now look, Cody McCorkle pulls out from the slipstream of Ty McIntosh, now looking to challenge again. He will now lead the outside lane. He'll have Dustin Dewar again as a pusher. Seth Rawls there, third in line there. Tyler Fode getting a push from David Westergreen and Ty McIntosh behind him. Further back there, we'll see who that is third in line. I think that's Mitch Avir there in the 58. Up inside the top 10 for the first time tonight there. Couple of trucks up on the top side. That's Ethan Burrell, Dylan Havir and Andrew Hardcastle there trying to make something happen with just 14 coming to 13 laps to go on the very top of the track. But it's McCorkle and Fode fighting for the top spot at the minute.
When it comes to these super speedways, all a driver wants is to be able to generate a run, make something happen, not feel like he or she is boxed in wherever they line up. There's no doubt the drivers have had plenty of agency tonight, been able to move around, change lanes, build runs, work with different drivers, and mix it up. And it's been quite a show tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's been super aggressive, but super clean. We've had those 2 cautions that definitely thinned the herd a little bit. I mean, it's got dicey at times, but they've kept it clean, and it's been really awesome to see the talent that's been on display. Even when they've had to navigate past back markers and go 4 wide, they've kept it nice and squeaky clean, and the aggression's been turned up to 11, but it's been almost without consequences again. As I say that, Death Rules almost went for a ride, almost got forced down there.
Oh, pit stops.
Into the runoff there, but as you say, pit stops. The street limit trucks are coming down into the pit lane. Whitehead, Hanneman, and Thomas Coonan, I believe that is, on pit road.
That is indeed Thomas Coonan in the 07 truck. Back out front, you see Cody McCorkle, Dustin Dewar. Those few trucks having to change lanes to get in position to come to pit road kind of thinned out the crowd a little bit. I have to imagine some more of these trucks are also making their way to the inside because they plan to pit here in the next lap or 2. We will see who makes a left-hand turn coming out of turn 4 this time. Right now, though, several trucks lined up nose to tail from the field. Cody McCorkle first in line. We will see who jumps down. Nobody in the very front. I think there was maybe one truck further back. It was Dylan Havir all by himself, so that's a tough blow for him.
Yeah, not good for Dylan Havir. All of a sudden, here comes Andrew Hardcastle. Where did he come from? He's all by himself on that very, very high side, top 3 wide. He's just got a massive run there from behind Gerald Campbell, and it's just flown towards the front there. Andrew Hardcastle won the ARCA Series race here a few weeks ago, trying to replicate that success in the 3rd tier of the Elite Racing League. Doesn't quite blow past the entire field. We'll have to settle back in line there behind Gerald Campbell. But that was something there from the Texan in the 22. As we might see some more pit stops. They're navigating past some back markers. There's Richie Hearn there on the bottom. Mark Cabalis, Joe Francis, Indianapolis winner from earlier on in this season. No takers on pit road this time, I believe.
Oh, no, we had a couple. Tyler Fode is on pit road. David Westergreen, Caleb Pecumer, Ethan Burrell, and I'm not sure. I'm looking at my screen real quick. Caleb Pecumer came close to hitting the entry cone, but he must have missed it. I do not see a black flag on my system.
Well, pushing the limits on pit road, trying to get every ounce of advantage you can get. And all of a sudden, with all this pit cycling that's going on, Robert Hill Jr. leading again. Now Andrew Hardcastle leads the high side. He drops down in front of Matt Telder, who isn't actually on the lead lap, but he's with this lead pack, and Telder's going to push Hardcastle up towards the point. A lot of trucks on the low side. We'll see if anyone takes the pit road. Jeff Green, there's everyone. That's a big herd coming to pit road. 10 laps to go, coming to 9 to go.
Oh, and Jeff Green, all out of shape. That's going to be almost certainly an unsafe pit entry for him. And I did go back and look. Caleb Pecumer was held on pit road for a long time, so he indeed also received that unsafe pit entry. In fact, we went to the replay. He was pulling out just as these guys were pulling in. That's how long he was held. But you'll see Jeff Green here on pit entry, gets out of shape. Or excuse me, that was Dustin Dewar. My mistake. Dustin Dewar gets out of shape and into the grass. but certainly he will be held for a long time. He is still on pit road after that.
Yeah, it's a really unfortunate blow there for Dustin Dewar, trying to work his way into the playoffs. As here comes everyone else: Andrew Hardcastle, Robert Hill Jr., Gerald Campbell there. That little trio will come into pit road. Andrew Hardcastle steams his way in. I hope that wasn't speeding there for the 22. It was either a really good entry or a really, really bad one. We'll see what his speed was at the line. Did the speed cameras get him?
I think he was good. We'll see if he gets held for any measure of time, but I believe he was all right. I think he's good. So now you see Tyler Fode leading. Obviously, the front three are on pit road right now. Tyler Fode leading this pack of trucks. They're going to blow by Mark Rebilis here. The only one left in front of them at this point is Gerald Campbell, who they are closing in right there. So this is going to be the battle for the lead right here. You see them rocket past with 8 laps to go. Tyler Fode is the leader after that green flag cycle.
Yeah, definitely a good cycle for Tyler Fode. His teammates and friends will look to get back in tandem. Campbell, they're stuck on the low side with the low momentum, the low speed, and everybody else. That's not going to help him much. He's probably going to funnel towards the back of the pack. But this front 6 here, led by Tyler Fode, is Burrell, Westergreen, Hanneman, Thomas Coonan, and Harrison Whitehead. So the street limit trio have done well here to find themselves in 4th, 5th, and 6th. So they'll be looking to work together, get themselves towards the point. As Dustin Dill, we mentioned earlier, now getting lapped as a result of that unsafe pit entry penalty. So super unfortunate for the 32, with not a lot of time to get back in it for Dustin.
No, he'll almost certainly need a caution and a free pass or something to that effect. And right now he would be in position for that, but he'd have to stay in front of other lap down trucks to maintain that. Of course, right now the focus on the battle for the lead. Everybody's starting to bunch back up after these green flag pit stops. Certainly the trucks that pitted in smaller groups. You saw Fode and Burrell and Westergreen pit together. You saw the street limit trucks pit together. They got out front, but the larger group has chased them down.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen everyone start to converge on each other as the further back packs have done a good job of staying together, nice and single file. They've sped each other up, and now they're all over the back of the front packers. The front pack that is now starting to split up. Raymond Hanneman ditches Tyler Fode. He pulls out to the outside. He's got Ty McIntosh, a fellow Ford, helping him. There's Jeff Green just behind them. Seth Rawls in the middle there. So still the teammates remaining loyal to each other. But now 2 by 2 by 2. There's Gerald Campbell there, stuck all by himself. Poor soul there, outside of these 2 by 2 guys racing here. So Gerald Campbell have to fall to the back of the pack there. No man's land for the 00. Raymond Hanneman though leading again. Ty McIntosh pushing him. Tyler Fode though still leading the inside with help from Ethan Burrell.
At the line this time, 5 laps to go. Raymond Hanneman, the winner back at Daytona to start the season. He's leading the way here. He drops to the bottom. Oh, there's a truck in the wall. I believe that was
That's Harrison Whitehead.
Harrison Whitehead, one of the street limit trucks that got into the wall. He's still pointed the right direction, drops to the rear of the pack. He might even be able to stay in the draft if he was able to keep up some momentum. Fortunately, these trucks punch a pretty big hole in the air, but it'll depend on how much damage he has if he's able to keep up.
It looked like certainly a bang to the outside wall, but nothing that looked like it would cause substantial damage to the 84 there. As we're going to get dicey here, 4 laps to go, and ironically this has been the calmest that racing has been all night long. There's just 10 miles to go and we're only 2 by 2, and it's Ty McIntosh leading the way. Help from his teammate Seth Rawls there. They're looking for a second Shift Esports 1-2 in a row here in the truck series, and they've got Jeff Green trying to help that endeavour with their other teammate Jake Scarborough. Raymond Hanneman though, super speedway specialist it would seem here in the truck series, leading the way, blocks the high side. Aggression still from Raymond Hanneman. It's working beautifully so far. Work the lanes pretty elegantly thus far tonight, but Tyler Foti, again with help from Ethan Burrell and David Westergreen, will power back on the inside. Just 3.5 laps to go. They're close to cracking the freezer open and getting the popsicle sticks before Barney waves that magical white flag as Tyler Foti has to run there. He jumps up in front of Raymond Hanneman. He now leads the outside. Westergreen trying to push Burrell to the point. Just 3 laps to go here at Talladega.
Is it got to be one of our playoff contenders, one of our guys already locked in? Is it got to be one of these outsiders like Tyler Foti or Ethan Burrell or David Westergreen? 3 laps from finding out right now. Raymond Hanneman getting the push from Ethan Burrell to get out front. Thomas Coonan all by himself on the outside. I think he was expecting some help. He didn't get it. He's got to drop to the back. Tyler Foti in the middle lane now with the push from Ty McIntosh. You see one of the Lake Norman trucks, I believe that might be Caleb Pecumer, going to get lapped here. Excuse me, it might have actually been Mitch Javier. Yes, it is.
Still difficult to tell those Lake Norman Motorsports trucks apart, but now just 2 laps to go, and it's a Lake Norman driver leading the pack. It's Tyler Foti looking for truck win number 22 there, 7-time elite champion, looking to add to the ever-growing tally. It'll be win number 73 in elite if he takes the checkered flag tonight. Just unfathomable numbers from the number 40, but he's got a lot of hungry drivers behind him, and they're going to be wrecking down the back straight. Big one.
Seth Rawls is in it. Jeff Green is in it. The caution is out. I believe Cody McCorkle also involved. There you see the damage to Jeff Green. There, we'll get a look at the replay here. A little bit of a stack up here. It looks like Seth Rawls a little out of shape when Jeff Green lifts. Jake Scarborough was already there providing the push. And then several trucks getting hooked around in traffic. You see Harrison Whitehead getting collected, Thomas Coonan collected.
Looks to collect about 7 or 8 trucks there, caused by a little stack up there. You mentioned Seth was getting a little out of shape just behind his teammate Ty McIntosh, and Jeff Green couldn't do much to avoid contact there with the 10. We'll have another look at it as they came onto the Alabama Gang super stretch. McIntosh rolls just a little bit out of shape. McCorkle, Whitehead put into the wall. Scarborough involved, Pacuma. Robert Hill Jr. takes right to the wall there to avoid that. I think Andrew Hardcastle very nearly got into the back there of one of the street limit trucks, but got on the anchors just in time. But that is going to set up our first of 3 GWC attempts. They'll have 2 laps to go when they take the restart. If they get to the white flag, then that'll end the race under green flag conditions. If we don't, they'll do it again.
Important to note that obviously a difference here in iRacing. Once the field receives the white flag, the caution flag will not come out. It will be a race back to the line. Even if we wreck every truck on the track, it'll be whoever gets to the checkered flag first once the white flag comes out. Several trucks, of course, coming down pit road here to get a damage repaired.
Talladega being the longest lap on the calendar for ovals means that the caution laps are in excess of about 90 seconds. So if you got some minor scrapes or bangs, no meatballs really from that last accident, you can usually take all your repairs, or at least the vast majority of them, in one pit stop before the pace car gets back to you. And then of course in that second pace lap, before people start doubling up, you can go down pit road again and get some more repairs done. So I imagine most of the drivers caught in that last lap wreck will not be out of the running. They will still hopefully be on the lead lap, so we can have more guys gunning for the win at the end.
In fact, maybe this might be a good time, Nick, if we can squeeze in our one video ad, since we haven't really had chance for that, and then we'll have all our bills paid for tonight.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. It's the final race of the regular season for the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series here in the Elite Racing Leagues. And we are getting ready for an overtime finish. The first attempt at a green-white checkered. You see Raymond Hanneman leading the way. Tyler Fody, Ty McIntosh, David Westergreen, Jake Scarborough, the top 5. Again, with the way an overtime finish works in iRacing, we will have, at most, 3 attempts at this overtime finish. If the caution comes out during the first lap of overtime, we'll try it again. If there's an incident after the white flag, it doesn't matter. Once the white flag is out, it is a race back to the checkered flag.
Definitely going to reward aggression and bravery. The green-white checkered, obviously you only really need to make it 1 lap before you've really got nothing to lose. And typically on iRacing on these super speedways, you always see a wreck on the white flag lap. So we might see some guys like Cody McCorkle who are just catching up to the pack now, has someone like Jeff Green who might just squeak a win just from seeing a 17 car pile up part the seas for them. Such is the chaotic nature of these super speedway races. As long as you're on the lead lap, you've got a shot at burning it down in victory lane, just cycling through the top 10 in the pecking order here. All these guys with a decent shot at victory. It's going to be Tyler Fody leading the outside, Raymond Hanneman, Daytona winner in the season opener, leading the inside. They're coming out of turn 4. This is going to be the first of 3 green-white checkered attempts. The tension is palpable as they crawl and crawl towards the Geico restart zone, way down into the tri-oval. It's going to be the first of 3 attempts, 2 laps to go, 5 miles remaining for these gladiators to decide who will make up the 14 drivers in the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series playoffs. And we're away for our first of 3 GWC attempts, and it's Raymond Hanneman off to a very good start.
David Westergreen was the first around. See several trucks involved here. Jaden Racimus, there's Westergreen. He had lined up second. Somebody else getting tagged once again after I thought the wreck was over. We'll get a look at the Revelous replay machine here shortly to see what happened on this restart. Tyler Fody didn't get a great jump on the outside lane. The inside lane definitely had the momentum, and then they stack up behind. And then right here, I think you're going to see maybe some contact from the 52. Oh, wow, that's
a weird.
Yeah, the 18 really slowed up there. Very odd situation, but then, of course, nowhere for anybody behind that to go. You see Robert Hill in it, Seth Rawls, Jake Scarborough, Michael Goodman, Thomas Coonan, Harrison Whitehead, Jaden Racimus. Lots of trucks
not involved in this one, thankfully, for once. I want to have a look at seeing what happened to Robert Hill Jr. because him and Jaden Racimus had an absolutely huge coming together. After the record finished, he had already spun to the inside order. He was just getting that 05 recovered. And then the number 1 of Jaden Racimus came slithering in with a swift RKO to RHJ here. So as he hits the inside wall, big damage to the 05, but he gets it going. In comes the 1, Crunch.
Yeah.
Jaden Racines gets clobbered in the left rear.
Run it back one more time here. View of this one. A lot of trucks involved.
Definitely a tough way to watch the first overtime play out. I mean, a lot of guys with their chances to win shot before they ever got out of second gear here on this restart. See Joe Francis involved.
I don't know. Is it better to list guys that weren't involved at this point, guys?
Just about. I mean, you can see Raymond Hanneman obviously was in front of it. Ty McIntosh was in front of it. Tyler Fode was barely in front of it.
That was about it.
That's about the list out. Yeah.
That's really jumbled up the field there, hasn't it?
It really has.
And everyone from 14th on back on pit road. A couple of guys that were in that already a lap down, so not ideal for guys like Jake Scarborough. Jaden Racines was involved in that as well. Big hits for a lot of big names. They were running really well here tonight, and this has really jumbled up the field. The front three remain the same. Hanneman, McIntosh, Fode in a slightly different order, but that front three remains the same. Carl Hanshaw, big beneficiary from that bit of carnage there. Makes his way up to 4th. Michael Harsack in 5th. Jesse Racines, look for him to be aggressive. He's already locked into the playoffs, so he's going to be full guns blazing for the race win tonight. He's 6th. Andrew Hardcastle won here at Talladega in the Pit Pass Network ARCA Series earlier on this season. He's 7th. Burrell, Hibbs, and McCorkle all ran well tonight. They round out your top 10.
I think I'm going to look back at right on board with David Westergreen here, see if he had a little trouble getting in 3rd, because that was an odd crash. I'm not sure.
Might have missed a shift, actually. Yeah, that's not something we really mentioned. He might have missed a shift.
Right on board with him here.
Just the RPM, see if it screams as he tries to might get stuck in neutral.
Oh, yeah.
I think he did. Just going from 2nd to 3rd gear. It's really unfortunate for David Westergreen and for everyone got caught up in that. Such an easy mistake to make, missing a shift. It's super unfortunate that it happened on the first overtime attempt. So this will be our 2nd of 3. 2 more attempts. If we do use all of our attempts and we're on our 3rd and final attempt and we don't make it back to the white flag, the race will end behind the safety car, and whoever led at the time of caution will be declared the winner here at Talladega. But hopefully we have a flat out duel to the end under green flag conditions. We can have a nice 0.00000 second photo finish. That'd be nice.
Who doesn't love a good photo finish, right?
I mean, we've all watched the movie Cars. I'd say photo finishes are pretty cool.
Man, the number of hours I have wasted watching the Cars movies on Netflix.
I have not seen anything past Cars 2. I haven't seen the newer ones.
Oh, you gotta watch Cars 3, man.
Yeah,
it's
Cars
really
3
good. Honestly, Cars 3 might be better than the original. Hot take.
I get it. I wouldn't agree, but I get it. Hot take, Cars 2 sucks.
I don't think that's a hot take.
I hope it's not. But I've debated this with my friends. They say it's great. I think it sucks.
I think you have to accept Cars 2 is just like its own thing. It doesn't make sense compared to Cars. It doesn't make sense compared to Cars 3. It's just a Tow Mater movie. Just accept that it's a Tow Mater movie. Enjoy the Tow Mater hijinks and let it be its own thing and forget that there's a 2 at the end of the title. That's the best way to enjoy Cars 2.
I agree, actually. That's a good way of looking at it.
We're tackling the important topics here on the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series broadcast.
No, definitely. Even though we're about to go green for our 2nd overtime attempt, I think the topic of which Cars movie is best is definitely an important debate to be having. I think either one of Cars 1 or 3 are your valid choice, but let's see which car will be on top burning it down in victory lane? I don't know if we'll see a 3 wide too close to call finish.
We have got a cluster trying to get this lined up. We're going green, but they're playing IndyCar in the back with the 3 wide. Up front, though, Raymond Hammond. Oh, that's a blink. That's a blink from Ty McIntosh, but he's back with us. Hopefully he stays with us here for this final restart. Well, hopefully final restart. Second attempt at overtime.
Yeah, we saw Ty McIntosh blink a couple times under caution. Hopefully he can hang on for about 3.5 more miles here at Talladega. He's leading the outside line. I don't think any Houdini magic will be doing anyone behind him any sort of good. But Raymond Hanneman looking to go 2 for 2 on the plate tracks. He's leading the way right now with a 7-time champion, 2-time Daytona 500 winner, Tyler Foti pushing him. So if you're having anyone pushing you, Ty McIntosh again with a blink. Kyle Hanshaw's trying to push him, but that's not going to be doing anyone any good, as Burrell and Andrew Hardcastle again in tow. And again another blink from McIntosh. White flag though. We will end this race under green flag conditions.
It's got to be a race to the stripe. Ty McIntosh drops down into the bottom lane in front of Raymond Hanneman, leading the way in that shift eSports 75. Now, Hanneman jumps to the outside. They're 3 wide up front, down the backstretch. Kyle Hanshaw getting the push from Ethan Burrell. Can the outside lane get out front? Ty McIntosh on the inside with Tyler Foti providing the assistance. There's Jesse Racimas after the night he's had. He's in the mix here at the end. Oh, out of shape. Wrecking. Hard hit into the outside wall. It's a 3-truck breakaway up front. Make it 4 trucks. Kyle Hanshaw in the 46. Oh, they're 3 wide. Ty McIntosh to the inside. Who's it going to be at the line? Ty McIntosh wins it.
Woo! Just 4 trucks. That was an epic finish there. Ty McIntosh takes the flag after some Houdini magic on that second overtime attempt, but he pulls the magic out of the hat, takes the win at Talladega. It's a 1-3 for Shift Esports, almost the magic repeat from Eldora, but still a double podium and 2 wins in a row for Shift Esports. Ty McIntosh takes first place there. Hibbs with his 2nd consecutive podium takes 3rd. Kyle Hanshaw splitting those 2 drivers with an awesome 2nd place performance there. That was an awesome finish there.
And we'll have to take a look back at see what happened with Tyler Foti down there or wreck coming to the line, and then we'll take a look at the run to finish here. Wrecked at this. That's a big wreck.
Oh, this got really... Tyler Foti briefly turned into a helicopter. We'll have to take a look at here on the Mark Rebelus replay machine here. Looks like maybe he just... Yeah, maybe clipped the apron, hard to say, but right here,
Whoa.
Gerald Campbell launched Tyler Foti to space, and then a bunch of these guys are just not lifting. They're just trying to get to the finish and absolutely committing vehicular homicide on their way to the checkered flag.
Somebody was flipping down there.
I have not seen so many cars get hit that hard that quickly in such consecutive order. So Foti get hit, then Racimas got hit, then Hardcastle all just got clattered one by one. Jeff Green got hit as well, I think, or he hit someone.
Take a look at who was barrel rolling down here. Somebody was barrel rolling.
He hits Hardcastle.
Oh,
by Goodman.
Goodman hit Jeff Green harder than Jeff Green at that one time.
He does a barrel roll.
Take a look at Racimas here. See what he sees. Went up on this wreck. He comes in the frame barrel rolling already, so this happened way back.
Oh my goodness. You can drive through it. Oh, never mind.
Okay. McQueen didn't make it through the wreckage, and he didn't make it through in one piece.
Ugh.
Style points though. It was a clean barrel roll.
Take another look at this run of the finish here after the wreck. There was a lot going on at the run of the line as well.
So this was the fight to the finish. Kyle Hanshaw getting the push from Ethan Burrell, but then of course They go 3 wide here. A little bit of contact there. Ty McIntosh to the inside, getting the push from Gavin Hibbs. And that push also helped, of course, Hibbs get up to that 3rd spot. I don't know what the margin was between him and Ethan Burrell. I've got it showing it's 0.008 of a second for that battle for 3rd. But Ty McIntosh picking up the win. I guess, yeah.
And breathe.
Yeah.
That was a wild one.
Guess we better start talking to some drivers, huh?
I would say so. We've got all of them in the waiting room. Joe Campbell and Jake Scarborough making some nice cameo appearances there as well.
All right. Well, I'll start with, whoops. I was about to say I'll start with Gavin Hibbs, but he has started video streaming. I don't know what's going on down there in the waiting room.
I think they're just fawning over the end of that race because that was a wild one, and Hibbs is just flexing his pushing ability that got Ty McIntosh to win there.
Well, I hate to interrupt them, but we're going to have to move this show along here. So we're going to talk to Gavin Hibbs real quick, our 3rd place finisher tonight. Gavin, I know I'm interrupting the video review session down in the waiting room. But man, there's a lot of video to look at from that finish, and you had a heck of a night to find your way up to P3 and push your teammate to the win here.
Yeah, that was it was a weird race to say the least. I thought it was over when we wrecked there on lap 5 or whatever it was, but looked at my RPM, saw it was still at 1300, and then only had 2.5 minutes. Just kept riding around, hoping the right thing to go our way, and then which got us up to the front, so they're late. And yeah, that last wreck was it was scary. Once I saw Tyler Fody come back up, and I thought, oh man, I thought I was involved in it, and that was gonna be it. But like Moses, all of a sudden the seas parted, and glad I was able to get up to my teammate there to push him to the win.
You talk about the seas parting with that last lap incident. You kind of know when the white flag comes out at Talladega what's probably going to happen. When you came through on the other side and saw your teammate in front of you, what's in your mind in that moment?
I just knew that I was not going to be the trucks. I still had a good bit of damage left to repair, but so I figured, try as best I could to get to my teammate, because I thought there was going to be no way for me to get around all 3 of those guys without hitting either one. So I just thought it'd be a great idea just to be a good teammate and, go with him, and glad it worked out.
You talk about the teammates. We talked to you last week after the win, talking to you again, another pair of shift drivers on the podium, really as a team, really building some momentum here in the truck series.
Yeah, very big momentum shift coming into the playoffs. I'm hoping one of our guys got in at least. That was pretty much our goal for tonight, me and Ty especially, because considering that we had only made a little bit of starts, so this was just come in and just try to help our teammates as best we could.
Before we let you go, Gavin, who do you have to thank?
Obviously my design business, Hibbs Designs. You want to get an iRacing scheme made, or stuff of that nature, hit me up on Twitter at GavinHibbs1 or at Hibbs Designs. Joe Francis, his company, Numbers by Joe. If you want a number or an iRacing number or a logo, come to life, hit up Joe at JoeF24ever on Twitter. Shift Esports, obviously, with Seth, Ty, and Jake and all them, just making this race a lot more enjoyable, even after getting wrecked out. And finally, my parent team, Strictly Stock Motorsports. I know some of those guys were watching tonight, and can't thank enough for their support.
All right, congratulations, Gavin, and will you be joining us for some of these playoff races? I know you're not in the playoffs, but are you still planning on running some more of these races to wrap up the season?
I have to look at the schedule to see what is there, but I could make an exception for a few. Pretty much my ideal schedule for this being part-time was super speedway, short tracks, and road courses, but I could probably make an exception for a few.
Well, I have good news for you. There's a short track in the playoff. It's called North Wilkesboro. How do you feel about that one?
Ooh, I love Wilkesboro, but haven't really done it in the truck in 2 years, so it should be interesting.
All right, we'll see if maybe we see you in a couple of weeks there. Congratulations, Gavin, and have a good evening.
Thank you guys, and thank you guys for your broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch it later.
Absolutely. So there you have it. That's third place, Gavin Hibbs. Next, we will talk to our runner-up finisher tonight. That is Kyle Hanshaw in the 46 truck. Kyle, you got around the incident. You were right there at the end. What was it going to take to pick up that last spot?
Hey guys. Yeah, it was a hell of a finish there. Ethan probably should have stayed behind me. He keyed up at the end of the race and apologized to me. He said he pulled out too early, but I think if he would have just stayed tucked in behind me on my bumper, I think it would have been game over and we would have got that one, but just came up short.
You know, it was a very interesting night, to say the least. We had some of the big wrecks early on, but people able to bounce back from that. We didn't see a lot of you in the early part of the broadcast, but when it came down to the end of the race, there you were mixing it up. Obviously, that's the way everybody draws it up, but how hard was it to put yourself in position to be there at the end of this race?
Yeah, at the beginning, I was just buying my time. I didn't want to get caught up in any, early wrecks. And just so happened I did right off the get go here. They checked up on the bottom lane and got tagged from behind, so I was playing catch up ever since that. But yeah, just trying to stay out of trouble the whole race and be there at the end. Got kind of nervous there when we were getting down to it with the green flag pit stop because I haven't been the best at that in years past. But we were able to come back out with a good pack of cars and get back up there to like, I don't know, the top 12. And yeah, I was pretty worried there when we had that green white checkered the last one because if we would have had another one, I would have ran out of fuel. So I think I crossed the line with like a lap and a half of fuel left, so we managed that pretty well.
Before we let you go, Kyle, who do you have to thank on this runner-up finish?
Yeah, just like to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Really enjoy going back and watching what all happened in your guys' coverage. I'd like to thank Brantley at Harpoon Designs for the sweet schemes that he's always providing me. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, thank you. Shout out to Johnny Thomas for giving me some late race advice here to get me to the end.
I was going to say, when you go back and watch the broadcast, you got to see old JT was cheering on for you hard tonight. So
Yeah,
absolutely. Congratulations, Kyle, and we'll see you next time out.
appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right, so that's Kyle Hanshaw, the runner-up tonight, and that brings us to our winner tonight, Ty McIntosh, picking up the win in the street limit 175 at Talladega. Ty, congratulations on the victory. Talk us through those green-white checkered restarts and what it was like battling to the win there at the end.
I mean, I was worried about fuel mileage. I was at 2.7 coming to the green. So then obviously when I burned all that in the tri-oval, it ended up being like probably 2.1 at the line. So I was really worried about having enough fuel. And then the restart kind of went like I figured it would. The inside got the jump, and then Kyle got to me and gave me a hell of a shove for the first lap, and then out of 2, I was able to hop down. And then I saw Fody, which I don't think there's anybody would have rather jumped in front of to know that I had a chance until I knew he ran out of fuel other than Fody, because I mean Fody finds a way to finish these things off all the time. And then when he ran out of gas, I kind of thought it was over because everybody wrecked behind us, and then Ethan pulled out, and then I was really just ready for third, possibly fourth, until I realized it was Gavin behind me, and he gave me a hell of a shove to get there, and we somehow got one done, man. I'm hyped.
I know this has to be exciting for you. Is this your first elite win, Ty?
This is first elite win, yeah. This is it.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, how exciting is it to be able to add your name to that list?
I mean, I win races often, so here, especially in elite, this is definitely the league that I've learned the most from, whether it's in any series. So it's cool. Glad to finally get it done, especially the week after we get a 1-2 to make it back to back for us at Shift is crazy. It means a lot, man.
You talk about those teammates. What was the excitement like when you looked in your mirror after that field clearing wreck and you see a teammate behind you of all people?
I started screaming. I was like, "Give me what you got!" I told Gavin, I said, "Don't lift." I said, "If you turn me, you turn me. Just push." And it was one of those where I kind of went from having my heart in my chest to knowing that we probably missed out, to all of a sudden my adrenaline's pumping again, and I was ready to be 3 wide at the line and door somebody if I had to. Thankfully, I didn't have to.
Before we let you go, Ty, who do you have to thank on this win?
I got to thank Far Hauler Dirt, man. These guys have been with me since the beginning, so it means a lot to be able to get a win here. Second win with them on board, the second win that I've had in general. But these guys have been huge for me. They really got me started. Matrix Sportswear, they've been huge for me this season as well. If you need jerseys for a Sunday beer league softball game, whatever you need, they got you covered. Check out Matrix Apparel on Twitter. 3Y TV for being an associate. Those guys are fantastic. Love being able to carry their brand. You guys are putting on the show, and Chad for everything he does. Shout out to also Gavin Hibbs for being a hell of a teammate and my Pookie. So appreciate it.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations to Ty and Pookie on their podium finishes tonight. Congratulations, Ty, and we'll see you at the next one.
Appreciate it.
So there you have it. Ty McIntosh, the winner. All right, Nick, William, I'll ask y'all. Gerald is begging for a regular season champion interview because we're hanging banners for regular season championships now. What do you say? Should we throw him a bone or should we leave him hanging?
Oh, problem is if we get Gerald yapping, we'll be here all night, like we did at Sebring.
That's certainly my concern. That's certainly my concern.
Do we humor the yapper? I'll let you two decide that one.
Nick's the one pushing buttons.
I say we bring him up. Why not? Look at Jared.
All right. I say we bring him up, but let's see if we can queue up the replay of him murdering somebody on the last lap.
What? You said last lap when you brought me up.
Yeah.
Last lap. Yes, it was the last lap. I took back over the lead. Yes, thank you very much.
No, you did not take over the lead. You sent somebody to space, Gerald.
That was Tyler Fode's fault for running out of fuel and causing that big one. That's my fault.
You're not wrong about that, but Gerald, you are. First off, you're gonna have to educate me. What is the benefit of the regular season championship going into the playoffs here in the Elite Truck Series?
It means I'm better than everybody else, in my mind.
So there's not even like a bigger points lead?
I think there is. You do get points for doing that, but for me, it's more of the glorification of being able to get it once again and getting another Mickey Mouse championship of some sort. So that's a gratification for me.
Well, look, that counts for something, that you scored more points in the first 11 races than anyone else. Never mind that Chase Cabry wasn't here, but that's fine too.
You got to be here, man. You got to be here to get them.
That's for sure. For sure. So, I mean, let's talk about your night, Gerald, because, I mean, we know how Talladega can be, and there you were at the end, and like you say, Tyler Fode runs out of fuel, and then everybody's wrecking in front of you. Just kind of what was your takeaway from this evening at Talladega?
I didn't have the most fun, obviously, running in the back, just kind of focusing on what I had to do, which was win the championship. If Chase Gabriel was here, going to be a completely different story how I would have approached it. I would have tried to run up front, but it was just kind of just maintaining the back pace back there and see how things shaped up. It didn't work out so well at the end because I was going to make it on fuel, so I came down pit road and that gave Racimus there quite a big point lead over me because he was up into 5th and I was back in 13th, and it wasn't looking good there. And then I saw the wreck, and I didn't know if the 70 was involved because it was just so much smoke. So I was just like, he could be up there still in the top 3 guys. I'm going to have to try to power through this and get as best position as I could. So it worked out. Stinks for Racimus. He goes from losing out on making the chase at one super speedway, the very next super speedway he wins to get himself into the points, and then the very next one he loses out on a wreck on the last lap to lose him out on winning a regular season. So the next super speedway, put your money on Racimus, I think.
For entertainment purposes only, of course.
I don't care. I mean, if you live in a state where you can bet and someone's willing to have a bookie that can do elite, I guess you can bet the money.
All right. So before we let you go, Gerald, who do you have to thank on your regular season championship in the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series?
Myself, really. It comes down to motivation from self. I went from broadcasting the last 6 seasons of the Truck Series to the very first season I come back to racing it. I win the regular season. Just, I don't know. Really, really proud of myself that I came back and still showed that I have a little bit of speed left and consistency to be able to pull it off. So now it's the real challenge. We got 3 races to decide it between me and 14 other drivers. I'm going to have a pretty good points cushion with this regular season champ that I will have. But I want to get a win. I don't want to have more people like Andrew Rucker saying Mickey Mouse Championship when he doesn't do nothing anyhow. So I'd rather go out there and at least get a race win, maybe at North Wilkesboro. That's where I'm really circling it out on because I really love that track. So yeah, we'll see. I got 4 races left to try to go about getting a win and get this championship wrapped up. We're going to see if we can be able to get that done.
Well, there you have it. Gerald, congratulations.
I didn't talk all the time. Thanks, William.
Wow. Wow.
I heard you guys. Who's going to talk all night?
I mean, you have Thursday night for that. Or is it Friday this week? Go ahead. Plug the podcast.
The podcasts are usually ran on Thursdays unless if I have something going on or if one of my other co-hosts have something going on. The podcast is pretty much a recap of the Elite Series found on Belly Up Sports. So you can go on there if you like the sound of my sexy voice and then be able to see more of me. I look even better than I sound, if you can believe it. It's hard to believe, but it is true. And I have guys like Ethan Burrell, Jeff Green, Goody that shows up. A lot of guys that I don't want to look better than me, so I bring them along. And we have a lot of fun talking bad about all the other drivers in the league and making fun of them. So it's a lot of fun.
Who's running the gauntlet this week?
I don't know. Do you want to?
That's probably a terrible idea, but I mean, I will.
Or William. I mean,
I'm down for it.
Or Nick Massey. I mean, he's absolutely destroyed my pick of him winning a championship in the Cup Series. A massive failure in all fronts. Nick Massey is.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of voodoo you put on me, but that was not an enjoyable season. But I would enjoy to see Zach Evans run the gauntlet. I think that'd be highly entertaining. I think that'd be a highly watched episode of the podcast.
If anyone doesn't understand, I am picking cursed. No one wants me to pick for them. I've picked the last 3 guys that have had the worst race of their life. And
you're not as big of a curse as the marbles.
No, I'm pretty bad. The Marvels will sometimes pick a guy that will run fairly well. When I pick somebody, I picked Tooker the last race, and Tooker got yeeted by Chris Wright and ruined his race. And Tooker has never finished outside like a top 5 at a road course. And then I picked Fode at Daytona, Man's led every lap at every super speedway that we've ever ran. Never led a lap. So after I picked him. So yeah, I'm very bad at picking people. I picked Nick. Where are you at in points, Nick? Like 30th?
Yeah, it's not good. I didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, you're really really bad off in points. So if Fody, who I picked this last time, has another bad race, I am going to start charging people to pick their arch nemesis. So that's how it's going to go from now on.
All right. Well, send your bribes over to Gerald Campbell before the next episode of the Simply Racing podcast, and we'll see if he talks me into running the gauntlet or not.
Yeah, maybe you and I can get on. Maybe we'll try it one of these nights here. Get you onto the gauntlet. Do you want it with the sunlight or without sunlight?
I need all the help I can get at that place, man. We better have that thing lit up with like 5 suns.
5 suns. I don't know that.
5 suns.
Like track temperature at 180.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see if we can get you out on the gauntlet. The damage is off, so I hope you roll wide. Well, you know what?
Yep, nailed it.
Yep, there we go.
Yep. Terrific.
English is like my 4th language, and I don't know the first 3.
Sure, sounds good. All right, Gerald, let's get out of here. Have a good one. Congratulations on your regular season championship.
Absolutely, I deserved it. Everyone else sucked.
There you have it from the Gerald Campbell, who left of his own accord while I was trying to drag him out. Here's a look at your results. There they went. Never mind. Now
they are.
Ty McIntosh, Kyle Hanshaw, Gavin Hibbs, Ethan Burrell, Raymond Hanneman, your top 5. I'll let you read the rest of them while we sign off because we've been here doing post-race interviews for about 30 minutes at this point. William, I'd love to tell you for sure officially who made the playoffs, but of course our fearless leader is somewhere between Pennsylvania and Dover, Delaware right now. But otherwise, talk about the regular season. It's wrapped up now. We're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. Well, one person we do know has made the playoffs as regular season champion, Gerald Campbell, always humble in his 8th place victory there here tonight at Talladega, followed by his 80-minute post-race interview there. But it's been super fun to watch all the drivers compete in this regular season, and while we don't know for sure which of the 14 gladiators have made the cut, there will be definitely 14 very deserving drivers that will go out and fight for an Elite Racing League championship here in the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series, and it was an awesome race to finish off Talladega, the ultimate wildcard, and Ty McIntosh ran really well all night and definitely deserved the victory. A feel-good win there for Shift Esports, their 2nd in a row in the series. Hibbs home in P3 for a 2nd consecutive double podium. Kyle Hanshaw as well with an awesome run there. Got 2nd. Burrell, past champ on his return to the series, got 4th. So a lot of cool stories to follow all night long, and they'll definitely continue steadfastly into the playoffs, which I'm super excited to get going now.
Well, the playoffs kick off in 1 week's time at Chicagoland Speedway. We'll have a week off before the trucks head to North Wilkesboro. And then, of course, another week off because, let's be honest, we're not going to race on Memorial Day. That would just be sacrilege. After that, go to Michigan to wrap up the first round of the playoffs, and of course the championship race at Nashville Super Speedway on June 9th. Be sure to catch us for all of those here on the Elite Racing Network. But until then, Nick Massey producing tonight's broadcast while Gerald Campbell was away watching the Indy cars at Barber. William, thank you so much for joining in the booth kind of mid-season with us. If nothing else, you've spared the audience from listening to me blather on for 2 hours every Sunday night. On behalf of Nick and William, I'm Zach Evans. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week here on the Elite Racing Network as the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series playoffs begin. Thank you. Have a good night.